Happy lunch hour, guys. So, looks like it's going to be raining here today, so more chance for Mrs. P and I to get some of this stuff done. So, in the midst of dehydrating jalapenos, crushing those up, turn them into a powder, which makes for great spices for food, something to do with your garden. Also makes for one hell of a, let's just put it this way, a deterrent if you get creative with it. Ever get jalapenos in your eyes? Yeah. So, you say you want a revolution. Apparently, a lot of people around the world do. All right, latest one is everything that's going on in Iran. Right? If you've seen all this, we're evacuating the embassy. The embassy was firing off anti-missile missiles yesterday. Yeah, okay. There's attacks going on governments around the world. I mean, shall we talk? I mean, not even talking about what's going on in Ukraine, but, Panama, Iran, parts of Asia. Yeah, okay. Europe, we've seen enough protests. I mean, the farmers setting bales of hay on fire on the road and stuff like that. People are getting fed up, okay? No, the thing is this. I mean, when John Lennon wrote Revolution back in the 60s, it was an anti-war song, okay? That, it was a protest. It was a war protest song. Vietnam was going on, everything like this. We don't want to change the world. That's the thing, And in order to not change the world, it may be time for a revolution in some places. And eventually, they're going to come to your backyard. The rhetoric in the United States is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Don't have to tell you guys this, right? There was a survey that came out overnight that showed that more than half of college students will not live in the dorms with a roommate of somebody who has differing political opinions. Okay? Y'all know this in your real life. I mean, how many of you have disassociated yourselves with liberal friends, liberal family members? How many stories have you heard about marriages falling apart over different views, about friends for years ending friendships, people walking away? I mean, this is what's going on. We are beyond repair, okay? And this is what leads to revolution. The left is getting more and more aggressive in their you will do what I say, otherwise I'm going to get violent. Even though they try to project the violence on the conservatives. I mean, Christ, there was a straight pride event over the weekend that the Rainbow Coalition came in and started raising hell at. Okay? It's perfectly acceptable for them to have their gay pride events, but God knows if somebody has a straight pride event, that's just hate speech. Okay? No, I'm not allowed to be proud of myself as long as I'm a straight white male. I should be ashamed of myself for that, right? In their minds, that's what it is. So then you get into what's really going to throw this country for a curve. The whole deal with Mar-a-Lago, all right? I mean, remember, you've got Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, who came out the other day and basically said Republicans are not welcome, conservatives are not welcome in New York. They should just go to Florida where all their people are, okay? Then, of course, Charlie Crist, who's the Democrat running for governor in Florida, said, we don't want Republicans in Florida. Joe Biden came out and said anybody that voted for Trump is a semi-fascist. This is just something else to add to my 11-foot long business card. this is what's going on. Now you get the whole deal with Mar-a-Lago, and the left is trying to rally the troops, saying an indictment is inevitable.
You seem pretty final in your judgment about what's going to happen here. I know you have a piece in the Daily Beast today. The headline, "It's over, Trump will be indicted."
Now, I won't say Brad Moss, the writer of the article there, is any sort of Nobel laureate. I mean, after all, he works for Yahoo. I mean, that's where careers go to die. I mean, when CNN won't hire you, you go to Yahoo, okay? Because that's where you might have taken a high school journalism class. You know, those are your credentials. But this is getting play. And if you go on YouTube or search in Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever, there's stories all over the place from the last few days of former Department of Justice attorneys, Chuck Todd, everybody. Trump's getting indicted. Trump's getting indicted. Trump's getting indicted. Okay. Now, I can give you this one. Lindsey Graham, who's about the biggest snake in the grass you can get, okay, and definitely a never Trumper, even though sometimes he'll say, "Oh, but I'm a Trump supporter," which he's not. You know, he has a different take on this.
And I'll say this. If there's a prosecution of Donald Trump for mishandling classified information after the Clinton debacle, which you presided over and did a hell of a good job, there'll be riots in the streets.
Yeah. Riots in the street, huh? Not like we haven't seen those lately. I mean, you know, pick a George Floyd, Chaz Chop, you know, Breonna Taylor, whatever would be. Pick one, okay? You know, the left is getting, you know, they're turning mob mentality into a profession. You know, that would be Antifa. Want to be a world-class idiot? Join Antifa. Want to rape, pillage, and burn? Join Antifa. This is what we do. You know, oh, you have no morals? Congratulations, you are qualified. But imagine the uproar when it happens the other way. Okay, like I said earlier, it's perfectly acceptable. The news will say, "Oh, these counter protesters, the gay pride people counter protesting the straight pride people. The straight pride people were, you know, they're anarchists and, you know, they're haters and all this sort of crap," right? Yeah, okay. Imagine when this flips and how the media, our favorite, you know, liberal media, portrays this when they come after us via Trump, okay, or come after the rest of us, and we fight back. They're going to, I mean, give you this is kind of how it'll work. They're going to knock on my door, gun in hand, and it's going to be my fault when they're dead on the porch. Okay, that's how it'll be portrayed. Okay? This is coming. What the trigger is? Could it be Trump? Very possible. Could it be food? Very possible. Could it be defund the police? Probable. Okay. Or, I mean, any one of the other disasters we have going on. We haven't got into winter yet. Let's see what happens in Europe when people start freezing to death and people start stealing firewood or stealing coal, and people defend what they have. Let's see what happens in the United States when our prices go up, because, hey, we got to help them. We need to ship natural gas. We need to ship wood. We need to ship coal to Europe because, you know, the American people don't need it. We need it to give it to them. Granted, I'd say at least half the American people are a hell of a lot tougher than the pansy asses that live in Europe. Okay. You know, most of the skinny soy boys in the world, I mean, live in Europe. I mean, European military. Right. Okay. I mean, not that ours is any better at this point, because, you know, the the guys in the military are, pissed off that they don't have pink camouflage, and what do you mean I have to cut my hair? And what do you mean I can't wear an earring? And does this nail polish match my uniform? I mean, that's the military of the West right now. Okay. Fortunately, there's a whole lot of guys like me, okay, who, yeah, we don't worry about nail polish and earrings. But you say you want a revolution. You're asking for it. It's coming. I'll give you one thing just to finish this out. You know that last line from Lennon's song? I'll change a couple of words. But if you go carrying pictures of Chairman Xi, we're going to kick your ass. Just wait and see. Pinball out.